All right. Well, I guess my internet is taking a day off, so I'm cranking this up on the cell phone. Anyway, how you guys doing? Whilst I try to figure out my other internet issues. Why everything was working fine until I went to go live and then everything shut down. Guess that's just my luck. So as soon as I went to hit the live button, stream dropped out, or my freaking service dropped out. Who all we got? Let me cycle back up to the top here. All right, we got Man Against the Masses. What's up, my brother? We got Crow. What is happening, brother? Jason, what's going on, my man, my brother? Much love. Miss Shauna, what's happening, my sister? See, HPS was in here earlier. Hey, what's up, Toy Town, my brother, man? Of course, Man Against the Masses is here. What is up, Kurt, brother? How's everybody doing this fine Friday afternoon that's not having internet damn issues like I'm having? We got as soon as I went to go live, shit dropped out. So now I'm trying to get this unscrewed because I really did want to go look at some stuff, and now I really can't. All right, Vanessa, be careful. Don't work too hard out there digging up your damn fence post. Come on, internet, you. Wow, this is going to drive me insane. The only time I like to try to go live from my phone is if I'm out freaking doing other shit. Who knows? Screw it. If I can't get this back up and running, we might take a walk, spend a moment outdoors. Yeah, that's possible. The internet provider just said, "Oh, fuck it, he's going live. We're shutting his shit down." Over there talking to the ATF right now. Shut him down. Shut him down. He's gonna say some shit. Maybe going on Congress.gov and actually calling us out on our bullshit, which is what I was gonna do. I actually filmed one paper cuts episode, and then started to get into another right before the lives, well, right before I was going to start the live, and then everything crapped out. Going over some, starting off with some more Sheila Jackson Lee, that retarded ass heifer. So she put through, well, she's retreading a bunch of bills she put in last Congress, the 117th Congress. Now, 118th Congress. She's starting out with the same old shit. Um, the bill that I just filmed was her wanting to hire 200 more ATF agents again. Same bill she put through last year. Got a plasma cut for it somewhere up here. I can't remember the actual bill number, but she wants to hire 200 more agents. Now, the funny thing about this shit is, well, funny, sad, retarded, take your pick, is the FBI is supposed to have, whoop, shit, not fall over. The FBI is supposed to have a section that will go back through people's backgrounds and go through the process of helping them get their rights restored. Um, they haven't been funded in many years now. And you see all this new funding getting pointed over to the ATF, and none of that funding is to, of course, restore people's rights. because that's the last damn thing the government wants to do is actually restore people's rights. They're fine with taking them. They damn sure don't want to give them back. Um, which it's funny, and I talked about it a little the other day. You know, I'm still waiting on a background check for the receiver that I was supposed to get from SDI for this final project build. Now, luckily enough, I had another AR9 receiver to work with, so wasn't really sweating it too bad. But it got this is the first background check that I've had in years. See, I got my rights back. I passed about 3 background checks within just a little bit of me getting my rights back. Um, and pass those background checks within minutes. I mean, it wasn't even an issue. Um, Passed them when I bought my Colt 1911 and bought my wife that shotgun. Passed another one. I bought that Taurus G2C. Passed another one when I bought that Wasser 10 AK that is now completely rebuilt. And there was another one. Oh, well, I passed another background check when I picked up my wife's receiver from SDI. I went and picked that up from the FFL, so I passed the background check then. So I've passed multiple background checks. Now, since I've got a YouTube channel, this last background check was delayed, then denied, and then went to pending, and it's been pending for damn near a month, um, which is insane to me. Luckily enough, like I said, I had another receiver to work with. If I didn't have another receiver to work with, then I wouldn't even been able to finish my final project with SDI, fucking around waiting on the ATF's dumbasses. Because I believe now the ATF is running background checks. It used to be the FBI handled the NICS background check system. I think the ATF has been handling that for a few years now. MC, what's up, brother man? Mike McClune, what is happening, my brother? So, and I've been letting that background check just go on just to see how long it will take them to unfuck their system to where I can actually get my stuff. Um, Now I could go pick it up legally. I'd go pick it up from the FFL with that pending because it's been so long. Um, that's the same as just a regular non-answer, and wouldn't be a problem at this point. But I really want to see whether the ATF will unfuck themselves. Chef, what's happening, brother man? For you guys, if you're not following the Drunken Chef, you need to be. I will warn you though, he will make you want to eat your damn phone with the stuff that he cooks. Um, the man is definitely on another level when it comes to cooking. And I'm still sitting here trying to unscrew my internet. So, because I really do want to get on and show you guys a few things that I'm looking at doing, but apparently my internet is taking a day off. So I've tried resetting the router, trying to go through the back end on my computer and actually see what's up with it. And apparently it just wants to be a dick. Yeah, dude, I've never, not, before I lost my rights, I never had a problem with background checks. Once I got my rights back, I never had a problem with background checks until this last one. And I'd have to go back and look. It's in my emails. When I went over there to try to pick up that receiver, and that was in mid-January, I think. It was right before this last semester with SDI started. So we're 5 weeks in. It was just before that. So it's been over 5 weeks waiting on this freaking background check. Yeah, that's a oh man, it's gonna be. I wanted to do it this year, but it's probably going to be next year before I actually get my FFL squared away. Because I want to do in '07, but I want to do a special occupation tax on top of that too, where I can build some handy dandy things that go bang real fast. What's up, G23? What's happening, brother man? Yeah, I'm gonna try to reset this router again, so we'll see. But fuck all. I haven't had any problems with my internet in a while, and all of a sudden today it just starts to drop out. So we'll see. In fact, I know my phone's mobile, but I'll be back in just a second. I'm gonna try to pop this router again. Hunk of junk. We'll see where this goes. Do the damn hard reset on that thing and see what happens. I get all this back up and running. I'll post that episode of Paper Cuts and then look at the next episode. The next episode of Paper Cuts is the Kimberly Vaughn Safe Storage Act, which is an absolute joke. It's a works into a grant program. Um, they're going to funnel a bunch of money to places like Moms Demand Action and Giffords for gun safety and all of them handing out freaking gun locks. It's We all know it's nothing that's going to stop a single shooting. It's not going to stop any criminal from going out and using a gun. It's just the same old bullshit. So that'll be the next one I cover. That's HR 52. And then, hell, I forget where I'm bouncing from there. If my internet will come back up, I could tell you where I'm going to go from there. But we'll figure it out. I got a I got a few other things to finish up and some more stuff to film. Need to see whether Florida is going to have any more hearings on their constitutional carry in the next little bit. GT3, have they had any more hearings up in Washington and Oregon on any of the things up there? It's been a while since I looked, so I don't know whether they've had anything else going on up there. GT3 and his 224 Valkyrie, which dude, I have heard 224 is a seriously good cartridge, but it just has not gotten any real industry support in a while. Yeah, MC, yeah, you throw a lock and a sock, man. Trust me, dude. I've been to prison. They'll throw a lock and a sock in a hurry. Makes a really good fucking club. Uh, things you learn in life, man. I have definitely lived a charmed life and been in some interesting situations. You think so, HPS? I've heard people shoot it, man, and they love that cartridge. Um, but and other people are kind of like you. They've said it's just fucking. It was a bunch of horse shit. Now, I did a buddy of mine, or a guy I know, is used to be a student of mine. He's almost got me talked into building a Grendel 6.5. He's got his is decked the fuck out. That thing is a damn tack driver at 700 yards. Oh God, Vanessa, there's so many different cartridges out there. Um, there's no way to keep up with them unless you're in there and you're actively looking at the shit every single day, just about. There's just so many, especially like say when you're counting wildcats. There's just freaking. It's amazing how many different cartridges and loadings are out there. Um, it's it's just insane. Of course, hell, I'd never heard about what the 8.6 or whatever it is. I'd never heard about that round until last year, and there were some guys that were into it heavy before then. Yeah, if I build that Grendel, um, I'm gonna build it about like his gun. He's got a heavier barrel on it, 20 something inches, I think. Um, and just freaking that gun's a damn monster. It is slick. Yeah, the 8.6 blackout. That's what it is. I'd never heard about that until I started seeing some guys loading for it. Like reloading for the hot pot might have been one. I can't remember. There's a few guys that I followed that got in that 6.8, and that thing, man, seems like it's something pretty freaking sweet. So, and I can't remember. I think some of these guys are shooting it um subsonic with suppressors, and it's just freaking. It's a monster. Warsaw, what's up, brother man? Well, welcome to the shit show, man. I'm still trying to get my regular internet up so I can actually look through some stuff, and it is still freaking just on the fritz. 50 Beowulf AK. Didn't Brandon Herrera build one? That would be a cool gun just to have. Uh, just cause. I mean, cause why not? Yeah, I was pretty sure Herrera built that 50 Beowulf. Which I know some guys that are using 50 Beowulf for hogs, man, and they say that thing is freaking murder. Yeah, and the shit hits the fan situation, man. I'm sticking with 5.56, 7.62, 30 aught in my bolt gun. and 12 gauge for my shotguns, and then of course 9 mil and 45 for handguns. I'm not going crazy with a bunch of different cartridges. In the meantime, before shit hits the fan, I mean, why not have a little fun with some of these damn cartridges? And that Grendel round, though, man, he's like I said, my buddy, he's got me about talked into it. There's oh, that gun is as accurate as his gun is when you're hitting damn, you know, 2 inch, 3 inch dingers at 700 yards with that thing. It's pretty damn hard to argue with that. But he's also doing a lot of hand loading too, which reloading is something else I got to get into. Yeah, man. Warsaw, China's been that's been one of the biggest fears since a lot of this really got rolling. Um, I mean, they don't necessarily like each other, but it's the whole enemy of my enemies, my furry deal, getting those two together. What's up, Polska? You got to figure if China can just fly a balloon right over the top of us, what would stop them from loading up an EMP device in one of those balloons? And if they flew it over the right part of the country before it detonated, they could knock out our power grids with zero issues. Yeah, dude, that's one of the reasons I want to get into reloading is just to kind of develop some different loads. Um, I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm going to get into reloading and I'm going to save money and all this stuff. It's just, I want to be able to develop loads, and if I'm stockpiled on components, when ammunition gets a little thin, I want to be able to have what I need. All right, Shaman, take it easy, sister. Yeah, Vanessa, if your face is hurting because you got some dental issues going on, you need to call them. Girl, you ain't got to tough everything out. That's what you got. That's what you got VA insurance for. It's as scary as those sons of bitches can be. I'd try to see a private doctor, but yeah, go get that shit looked at. Yeah, well, I mean that's another thing, Vanessa. Like I said, but that's if you can get components. We went through that shit right before COVID hit, and then ran all the way through the last year and a half, where if you could find components, you were lucky. Um, even on places where you could go on and like Ammo Seek and some others where you could get on and monitor deals as they happen right away. Shit was selling out so damn fast. If you didn't buy it right then, as soon as it popped up, it wasn't going to be there. Yes, that's man. I hadn't stockpiled anything as far as ammo. I mean, I had enough ammunition to get me more ammunition if shit came down to it. But um, I hadn't stockpiled it. Which it was funny, right when all this shit hit, when ammo prices just went through the fucking roof overnight. Um, I stopped at a place. Matter of fact, it was the morning before everything went nuts. I stopped at a place and bought um what I bought. I bought 1,000 rounds of 7.62 and bought 500 rounds of 5.56. The next day, that same case of 7.62 that I bought, fucking, of course, cheaper than dirt, they went through the damn roof. They had that same case of ammo for like $1,200. Everybody else had it at, I think I paid three and some change. Everybody else had it for anywhere from probably 500 to 800. Damn, cheaper than dirt was over 1,200 for it. That 500 rounds of 5.56. Can't remember how much I paid for that, but that lot of ammo was almost tripled the next day. So it was crazy, man. Man, I showed my wife because she was a little pissy with me when I bought ammo that day. Spent so much money on ammo. Next day I showed her the price. Her jaw like fell to the freaking floor. Um, it was like just freaking. And then primers got so bad. Hell, we were paying 87 1,000 for small pistol, small rifle. Um, and they only had those in stock for a week or so, and then shit, they couldn't even get primers. So that last 1,000 primers that I bought, um, I think I found a deal on Ammo Seek, but I paid $140 shipping and everything for 1,000 primers. It was just freaking crazy. Yeah, Crow. It's there for. I said I went through a fucking decade, man, a little over a decade, where I didn't have my rights, so I wasn't doing anything as far as buying ammo, stockpile ammo. I think I got everything back in 2018. I think it was, yeah, it was 20, I'm pretty sure it's 2018, about mid 2018 when I got everything back. And that's when I bought my Colt and bought my wife that shotgun. Um, and then hell, December 18th when I bought my first AK. I'd always wanted one. It was in one of the places down here by us, and they had that Wasser in there for I think it was six and some change. Um, and I bought that, and then shit was off to the races. Then by damn February of 19, I was building my first AK. Um, Built all my tools for it. Bent from a flat, did all kinds of shit. Um, my mic getting staticky. Hold on, let me switch to a different headphone. I'm still trying to get freaking internet up and running. By the way it's looking, There's no telling if it's going to get up and running or not. All right, how does this one sound? Well, I'm swapping shit around here. See if this one sounds a little better. Oh, man. I got no idea what's up with this freaking internet right now. It's killing me. What were we talking about, Crow? Is this mic sounding better? Fuck, man, everything's trying to be a pain in the ass today. The fuck? Oh, dear God, man, everything is trying to be a pain in the ass today. All right, well, I killed that mic. I'll just go with the damn sound on the phone. See how this works. See if this is any damn better. Oh, this is fucking killing me. Yeah, Vanessa, do the old freaking rabbit ears thing. Fucking, I have been there in my life. Maybe that's what's wrong with kids today. They never had to hold the damn antenna at the just perfect right angle to actually get the damn TV to work. Putting damn tinfoil on the rabbit ears to try to give them a little bit more boost. Oh, God, I guess everything's just trying to piss me off today. I'm going to try to reset this router again. Give me just a sec, guys. All right, try number 4503. What's up, Billy? Welcome to the Coops Internet Took a Shit stream, and I'm trying to get everything back up. Man, I think the first time we had cable, we were living in quarters on Fort Lewis. So that had to be 80 fucking 87, 88, I think. And I can't even remember what that cable box looked like. I was just happy we got MTV. That was a freaking big deal back in the day. Yeah, Alaska's one of those places I'd love to go visit. I'd love to go hunt there, love to go fish there, but I wouldn't want to live there. Something pulling up out there? Maybe the ATF's coming to get me. Right now, I officially can't do dick that I wanted to do because my internet took shit. Which is funny. Like I said, it was working fine. I was doing some research, reading through some stuff on Congress.gov. Then I go to freaking my wife messaged me. As soon as I go to do a stream, poof, it's out. It's freaking mind numbing. I think probably out of all the bases that we were on when I was growing up, Fort Lewis was probably, I think, the prettiest base we were on. A beautiful view of Mount Rainier right out of the windows of the quarters. A lot of ponds on base to go fish. Of course, Puget Sound wasn't far away. Did a lot of pheasant hunting on base. Uh, yeah, it's probably the prettiest base we were on. Freaking I think the funnest place that my dad was stationed when I was growing up was Germany. Now, probably not the best place to run around with a bunch of hoodlum ass teenagers, but Germany was fun. I miss all the fairs and everything that they'd have all the time, and the food and the beer. Yeah, which hell, I only went up to Mount Rainier once or twice in the 4 years we were there. Um, went up there with one of my friends and his family. We went up there and went tubing one time, which was fun as hell. Big ass inner tubes sliding down the damn hills and shit on Mount Rainier. Which was funny because you can tell a damn redneck ass kid like me, we're going tubing, and I'm thinking, you know, shorts and floating on an inner tube in a creek or something like that. We're going to go tubing, but it's winter. That shit's going to be cold. They had to explain the shit to me. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we can slide down hills on big ass inner tubes. That's fun. Till then, the only tubing I'd ever done was on like damn creeks and rivers and dude, HPS, when I got my stuff back, I can't remember when the law was passed, but it was a retroactive first offender law in Georgia. Um, now, I got a pardon in 2010, but the pardon restored my voting rights. It didn't do anything for my firearms rights. So, probably mid 18, maybe in the first part of 18, um, I talked to a lawyer over in Georgia, Mark Post, and talked to him about that retroactive first offender. And I brought him all my records, court records, charges, all that shit, brought him everything. Um, he looked at it, called me back about a day later and said, hey, it's going to be like, I think it's $2,500 or $2,800. He said, give him a month, give him a couple weeks, um, and he'd see what he could do. And it was shit, probably 2 weeks after I paid him the money. He called me one day and said, hey, man, everything's squared. You're under first offender. So all that shit's kind of sealed. Everything didn't go away, but everything's sealed. So, you know, he said, give it about a month and then, you'd be able to pass background checks and all that shit. So, and it was like a month to the day. I was sitting in a Bear Automotive in Butler, Georgia, buying my Colt and buying my wife that shotgun. Now, HPS pardons can be where they just restore some rights, but not all. So, like mine, it restored my voting rights, but did not restore my firearms rights. Um, I had to go through some other bullshit to actually get my firearms rights back. Um, so, yeah, pardons don't automatically restore everything. What's up, John Crump? Oh, you dirty motherfucker. Oh, man against the masses. I'm going to get your wife to spank you. No, there ain't no way in hell I voted for. I wouldn't have voted for Biden if Biden would have told me he would have given me my firearms rights back. Fuck that noise. Yeah, it's Georgia, man, and the retroactive first offender stuff. Um, I can't remember how that actually came about and when exactly they passed it. It might have been like 2014 or so when they passed it. I didn't know about it until later. Um, but hell, well, I mean, it worked for me. I mean, I'd recommend it for anybody in Georgia trying to get their rights back. Because anybody in Georgia, and it may be the same for Alabama, it may be the same in some other states. Anybody can write the state pardons and parole board and ask for a pardon. And I think the state pardons and parole board just basically will like recommend it to the governor, and then the governor will sign it. But those can be conditional, like mine. Didn't give me my firearms rights back. Yeah, dude, HPS, we don't have a justice system in the United States, and we haven't for a very long time. We have a very much punitive system that is not geared towards getting people to be productive members of society again. They're really made to be revolving fucking doors, is all it is, where they can get you on some charges and then they can just go through and make your life a fucking living hell. Was Chicago Mike make it in without me seeing? Yeah, what's up, Mike? So yeah, it's there's a dude, and I've shared some of his posts on YouTube. I'd bring him up if I could get my internet to work. But he does a lot of work. I think he's the armed felon. He does a lot of work trying to help guys get their rights back. Because see, the thing that really freaking sucks about a lot of it is like hell. When I got out, applying for jobs and shit like that. Of course, you got a list that you had charges, you were convicted, all that shit. And I had tons of places tell me, "Look, man, we love your resume, but we can't touch you. You got a felony." So it really screws people over. And it makes it really freaking hard to go out and actually, get employed after you get out. And it shouldn't be that way. I mean, if someone's so freaking violent and so just absolutely just criminal to the bone, their ass shouldn't be out of fucking prison. Dude, my biggest charge was felony obstruction of a law enforcement officer. I kicked a cop. Um, yeah, don't do that. I don't recommend it. But that was my biggest charge. The simple battery and then criminal trespass when I kicked the door and headed after the dude. Those wouldn't amounted to anything. It was the felony obstruction of a law enforcement officer that really sunk me. The cop said I kicked him, which I might have. Man, I was so freaking trashed. I don't remember pretty much anything that happened that night. After dude hit his wife and after I went after him, I basically don't remember anything. I was blackout drunk. Which, hey, is what it is. Don't hit women around me. It tends to piss me off a little bit. But, again, he slipped out of there. He got away. Cops got called. I got handcuffs thrown on me. Cops said I kicked him. Now, not knowing anything about how the legal system worked, the only thing I'd had before then was a goddamn speeding ticket. Broke as a joke, been out of work because my back was fucked, went with a public defender. And that public defender, and he basically told me to meet one time that he was trading my case off to get a more lenient charge for another dude. And that's what he did. I ended up with what they call a 5-2. So 5 years probation, 2 years in prison. I got a 2-for-1 deal on prison time because I did it at a county prison down here, and I actually worked on work details, which, hell, I actually worked down at the damn local fire department the whole time I was there. And before I even got out, those guys were having me fill out job applications and wanting me to go right to work for them. Walton, there were some really good dudes. But hell, they were around me for a year. They knew I wasn't a piece of shit. They just knew I fucked up.
And the only reason I didn't end up going to work for him was the freaking mayor had issues with it. So fuck him. I think it was Bobby Peters at the time. I think. Hell, I can't remember. It's been fucking since 2003. But yeah, it was fun times, man. I've definitely lived a charmed life. That's it, Mike, man. I mean, people fuck up, shit happens, and you got to learn from it and roll with it, man. Don't kick the police. What's up, Guns and Barbecue? How you doing, man? I caught part of your stream last night. I did more lurking than I did anything. Well, I caught part of your stream, then I caught you on with G Webs too. And hell, by that time I was trying to work on some SDI stuff. I was over here damn falling asleep. In fact, hell, it was damn. I know I fell asleep for at least an hour in here last night before I finally woke up and got my fat ass in bed. Hit bobbing for Peters. Yeah. Dude, that whole thing, man, it was a shit show. From the time I fucked up till the time I actually went to court till the time I got out of that bitch. The whole thing was a fucking shit show. Of course, I ended up with a judge that was pretty well known as the hanging judge, which was awful nice of him. Um, Fun fact, I'd actually met him years before that. I actually put blinds in his house when I was working for a decorator. Uh, it was a complete damn circle jerk. It's you ever want to take a person and absolutely make them a racist bastard, um, put them in prison because it's just everything's so freaking segregated in prison. It's not even funny. Even that fucking daycare that I was in. Um, Freaking everything. Freaking even my phone service is dropping out. Still don't have my laptop back up. Today is definitely one of those days where you just want to freaking scream. Taco, what's happening? Yeah, it's definitely freaking one of those days. Everything's working fine until I go to stream, and then everything drops out and starts having issues. Trying to kill some time before I could pick up my baby girl from school. Wanted to show some cool stuff. Actually, wanted to show y'all a bunch of pain in the ass laws that are being proposed right now, but nope, can't do that. Tell you what, let's see something. Do, do, do. Give me a sec, guys. I'm going to see if this sumbitch will let me do what I want to do. Yeah, I wish I had some pro tips. Give me just a sec. I'm going to have to damn grab something. Trying to look, make sure I don't miss anything here. This is the first time I've really used StreamYard from my phone. Now I've had to plug my phone in, so now I got to figure out. Trying to figure it out. But nah, man, what I was saying before, before my freaking phone service went out. Yeah, you want to take someone and absolutely make them a racist person, man. Stick them in prison. Everything's so freaking segregated by color, and there are very few people in there that will actually push against that shit. What's up, 500? I have to figure out a way I can get everything stood up where I can still try to work on this shit. Dude, yeah. Most people have no idea how easy it is to freaking get arrested in the United States. It's you ain't got to do much. Of course, that's that's like that book. Was it Three Felonies a Day? Yeah, Patriot Act would make that terrorism. When I remember first hearing about the Patriot Act, and that's before I would actually go through and read a lot of these laws and how they would actually work in effect. And the Patriot Act was sold to us as a bill of goods where we're going to be able to stop these bad people before they can do bad things. And man, there's so much in there that's just freaking insane, as far as spying and secret courts and uh, things that were used to be not an issue. Walking on railroad tracks, all of a sudden that's felony. And all right, I'm back. Sorry, that was a call I had to take. Uh, Clint, what's up, brother? Yeah, dude, it's like one of the trestle bridges down by us, man. If we got busted jumping off that thing, they would freaking try to hang us from that damn bridge. Even though we're not doing anything to hurt anything, it's fucking the bridge ain't even been in use for decades, but it's still railroad property, baby, and they're still gonna try to run you through the ringer for that shit. So, which I mean, hell, almost everybody goes down there and jumps off the damn thing, but sure as shit, man. If you got caught doing it, your ass is going to get cuffs put on you and fined out the ass. Fucking internet's still killing me, man. How did that link even post? He posted it this way. Sorry, guys. That should have posted earlier, but I looked and damn sure didn't see it. I'm going to try to restart this freaking computer again. And then try to restart my internet again. Okay, Taco, cool. Yeah, I didn't see it pinned, and everything else is going to freaking hell in a handbasket today, so I didn't know whether it stayed up there or not. Well, I'll be back. Oh. Yeah, 500. Absolutely. It's right. I'm seriously against any kind of compulsory law for things like seat belts or helmets or all this other BS. Guns, I seriously, man, me and you got to do a show one night. There's so many different freaking channels that I try to watch, yours and Darts and freaking Tactical Trash Panda. I mean, so many different cool guys I try to keep up with, man. It makes it hard to actually freaking stay on top of everybody. Of course, I still need to do a show G23, kind of talking about people that have lost their rights and then they're either trying to get them back or have got them back. Watched the movie a little while back. Oh, well, yeah, the prison system's absolute garbage, man. Um, there's there are a lot of people in prison that thank God they're prisons because those assholes need to be in them, and they don't need to get the fuck out of them. Um, but there are a lot of people, man, who get locked up that they're not trying to live a criminal life, man. They had some issues, and if they had gotten some help to get past some shit, man, then they would be a productive member of society again. But our prison system's not built that way. Uh, Man, I saw some people that freaking. Uh, there's one cat, man. There's no reason he should have been in a normal prison. There's no reason he should have been in general population. Dude had serious fucking mental issues. Um, he was a weird cat, man. Um, the first time I had anything to do with him, I hadn't been in there long, and I needed a light for a smoke, and Noticed he had a one lit already, so I just wanted to go over there and get mine lit, man. I asked that motherfucker for a light, and he just growled at my ass. It was like, whoa, buddy. Uh, I mean, I got a light from him, but damn, uh, getting growled at by a grown ass man is a little off putting. But he had some serious freaking mental issues. You got some families from down here in Alabama. Dude, so far, which, hell, we're still, right here, not far from where we used to live when we were living in Georgia. We're not too far out from it, but there's definitely a lot of things with Alabama that are better than Georgia as far as taxes and some other stuff. That's the reason me and my wife got the land that we got out here. And the city, Columbus and Phoenix City were just turned into fucking shooting galleries. So it was time to get out of that damn city. So I'm trying to get my folks to get out of that damn city. Trying to get them to freaking sell the house they got and blast off and get out of that town. Which I'll be in town for a while tonight. That's anytime you see me where I'm filming something, I got the exposed rafters and shit over my head. That's where I'm at. Is I'm in town at their place. I do a lot of my gunsmithing work there because my shed at my place is still tore apart. So I don't have my tools and shit set up in there. I've got some set up in my other office in here, but I don't have my sandblast cabinet and all the other shit that I've got set up in town. Blue and tanks, all that. I've got all that shit set up at their place. So a lot of my weekends in the last while have been, when I'm working on a lot of my SDI stuff, I go in town, work on it, because I got a nice place to work over there, and then, I do all my damn papers and shit here at the house. I really wish SDI has been cool. It's been good, but I wish they had some more hands-on stuff with some actual builds, like the final build I'm doing. Wish they had some more hands-on stuff with that and some other stuff. But so far it's been solid. I can't argue with any of the, or a lot of the stuff I can't argue with. It would definitely be a lot cooler to be able to take these classes in person for sure. Mine was an HBS. Mine was, basically resisting arrest. But when I kicked that cop, they called it felony obstruction of a law enforcement officer. That's what really, really got me locked up. Because, they don't take too kindly to people kicking cops. Which I can't remember whether I did or not. I was so far out of it at the time, but it is what it is. If it wasn't, more than likely, if it wasn't for that, I would have been put under first offender in the first place and never would have saw the inside of a damn prison. But no, my luck doesn't run that way. Yeah, dude, it's been warm here today. I don't know exactly where you're at in Georgia, but I'm about mid-state in Alabama, basically right across from Columbus. So yeah, it's been a warm one today. I mean, it hadn't been horrible. We ain't hit the hot days yet. Here in the next probably month or so is when we're going to just get those smoking hot days with 100% humidity. Brunswick, so yeah, you're south. Been a while since I've been around Brunswick, man. I need to go back down there. I wouldn't mind, man, getting back down to Lake Seminole and doing some fishing. And shit, now would be the time to really do it. The shell crackers ought to be going on bed anytime right now. And that lake, man, when it came to damn shell cracker beds, was insane. It's been shit. It's been over 10 years since I've been down there. Yeah, hell, it's been well over 10. Trying to think exactly when we went down there. But it's been over 10 years. But dude, we got on some damn shell cracker beds down there on Seminole, right outside of Lunker Lodge down there, where the brim beds with the shell cracker beds were so freaking big that you had 3 boats over the top of one bed and couldn't cover the whole bed. It's just it was crazy. We caught, between me, my dad, my brother, and a buddy of mine, that first time we went down there and got on some shell crackers real good. That first day we caught over 300 fish. It was just freaking back to back. And that water's so freaking clear, man. It's just crazy. Of course, if you catch Eufaula down here, which I'm just north of Eufaula, if you catch Eufaula good, that water can be clear as a bell too, which is part of the reason hydrilla's eating that lake up like it is. Chris, what's up, brother man? Chris is another cat, man. We got to get together and do a show. But I definitely, G23, we got to get together and do a show on people that have lost their rights and got their rights back, or people that have lost their rights and they're trying to get their rights back. I know there's some guys in a lot of the chats and stuff that we all circulate in. I know there's some other guys that are in that position now. So it'd be cool to do a show about it. Tiny Farm, what's happening? How you guys doing up there? Tech Money, what's up, brother? Guys that are just coming in, welcome to the shit show. Everything that can go wrong today has gone wrong. Internet issues, all that. That's why I'm streaming from my phone right now. Yeah, Chris, man, it's we'll set one up sometime. Probably the hardest thing, man, is going to be working around everybody's shows because there's just so many cool cats that we all follow. So it'd be cool to set up a show. You and Mike, man, make me seriously, if I can ever get my freaking back worked on, make me seriously want to go out and start shooting some competition. We're just all over the place, Tech. I originally started this stream, or tried to start this stream. I was going to go over some bills that were being proposed in Congress right now. I was filming some of my paper cut stuff. Got one episode filmed and got prep done for another episode of paper cuts, and then freaking went to start this live stream, and every internet power that be took a shit. Republican distress. I'll check it out, man. What's the road Banshee popping up with? Beginner's Guide. Top 5 AR-15 upgrades. Dude, Banshee and them, Banshee, Marine Gun Builder, DLD, Panda, Sarge, Shogun, all the guys starting the Freedom University. That's going to be a pretty cool damn deal to see develop. Even though I already built AKs, I want to take the AK class with them maybe this fall if I can get everything worked out and get my hands on another pretty solid parts kit. Marine Gun Builder, I think, is teaching that. Banshee, I think, is teaching part of it. And Banshee's another guy, man. If you're not following the Rogue Banshee, you need to be following him, man. He puts out a fuckload of good content. He's the one. Banshee was mentioned in some of these letters that the Democrats wrote to YouTube and some other places. Yeah, Chris, you're right, man. That's a hell of a bunch of good builders. But Banshee's one. I think Banshee's in the Dakotas, I think. But anyway, he was one of the ones. He was mentioned in some of the letters these Democrats wrote to YouTube, wanting to pull, gun content off of YouTube. And it's so freaking stupid. JLM, what's up, brother? Because you're talking about, Banshee and Ralph and Gun Builder, Marine Gun Builder, all these guys, Trash Panda. The hell is my computer doing? Sorry, my computer was doing something wild. I'm trying to reset something. But all these guys are excellent builders, and all they've done is showed people how to build guns safely, so that people are building guns that are, safe to operate, safe to use. So people aren't blowing themselves up with their guns, and these freaking idiots are losing their minds about it. I think Banshee, when he was mentioned in that letter from Democrats to YouTube, I'm pretty sure his governor got wind of some of it, wrote YouTube or some other places, was able to kind of keep Banshee from losing everything on YouTube. But it's, there's a lot of stuff that I've done with SDI that I'd like to post. Like a lot of stuff building that AR9. There's a lot of that I would have liked to have posted, but I stayed away from posting it because everything's going so crazy on YouTube right now. People are catching freaking strikes right and left. Hold on, did my internet actually come back up after resetting it 19 times? We may actually be in business. Oh hell. All right. And add this. All right, we're up. All right, let's see whether this holds. If it does, we're cool. Oh, what a fucking shit show. Let's see. All right, we're holding strong for right now. La da da da. Who jail in post? All right, shit. Yeah, dude. Hopefully, freaking South Carolina gets off their ass and they pass constitutional carry. Hopefully, Florida. Well, hopefully Florida will pass theirs, but hopefully Florida will do like they should do and actually add on the open carry also. It's we covered that the other night. Went through that hearing. And let's see. Yeah, JLM, you guys are getting hit freaking coming and going up there with the just retarded laws that we all know aren't going to stop a single damn thing. Let me see. I'm trying to get all my shit back together here since I actually got internet and I can actually share some stuff now. So give me a hot second here. What is it? Everything's really freaking just crazy right now with a lot of the stuff. We've seen a lot of victories in the courts as far as some constitutional carry stuff, some protection of the actual right to own arms. Hey, Night Strike,
how's it going?
What's up, brother?
I heard constitutional carry talk was being talked about, so I had to come in and make a statement.
What's that?
I don't know if you heard, but South Carolina passed in the House. Yeah, 90. It was 90 votes to like 30 votes in favor of this of the constitutional carry bill, because they passed the open carry, and honestly, we haven't had that many problems with open carry with permit, anyways, since. So. No. So I figured our politicians that were for this stuff were going the route that Texas did. Texas went and enacted it, open carry with permit. and then waited 2 years, and then they got constitutional carry.
Yeah.
And I think that they're making the same push here in South Carolina. And I'll be honest with you, we'll probably see. I don't know what's going on with Florida because you know how Florida is. But the problem is that it's all the constitutional carry always gets through the House in South Carolina, always, almost unopposed because there's more Republicans all the time. The problem it's going to run into is the Senate. We've got, and I've said this for years, there's too many rhinos, Republicans in name only. You know, they say they're conservative, they vote some conservative, but when it comes to guns, they're wish-washy.
Yeah, and that's
and the problem is they're the only Republicans that run, and it's either vote for them or vote for a Democrat that's an automatic no instead of a wishy-washy Republican.
Yeah. And see, we're stuck with that in a lot of national politicians too.
And I know, and I saw John Crump's video yesterday, and I know that people are all happy about the whole purchase permit thing being repealed in North Carolina. But I got news for you: if they don't have the 2/3 majority vote on that bill, the governor is going to go and veto it because he's a Democrat.
Yep,
and he does that every time they put that through. So if they don't have a 2/3 majority, you can cheer all day you want, but the problem is he's gonna veto it.
Well, see, and that's the issue with a lot of these Republicans, state and national, in a lot of cases. When they actually had the power to do something, when they actually have solid power to do it, they don't do it. And then they propose a lot of this shit when they know it's just going to get fucking stopped.
Hold on. In the case of South Carolina, we're a bit different because we've had the South Carolina state senators for the South Carolina Senate. They've said that if the Democrats ever try and repeal the Second Amendment, that South Carolina will secede again. Well, they've said that publicly.
Yeah, but again,
and they still got reelected, by the way.
Yeah, but that's if they actually have the balls to do it and they're not just running their smokers.
No, and the problem is, I don't think any Democrat right now really has the balls to try and implement something like that because that's going to get shot down faster than Russian planes over Ukraine.
I don't know. See, here's the thing with a lot of these Democrats right now. We're making a lot of headway as far as federal courts go and protecting Second Amendment rights. So they're pushed into a corner, and we all know what happens when you push an animal into a corner. Even that little small timid animal will come out swinging on you.
Well,
and they're coming out swinging for the fences in some cases.
Looking on the positive side. Feinstein isn't going to run for re-election. This is her last term. Well, yes, I know that we're just going to get another asshole from California that's Democrat. I get that, but at least it won't be Feinstein, okay?
Yeah, well, the problem is in Feinstein's case,
all she did for her entire career was anti-gun bill. The same damn thing for 40 years.
And then we're going to look at some of that in a minute. But the problem is Dianne Feinstein, as freaking insane as that heifer is, when she leaves, you're going to end up with someone that's even more insane and more extreme than her.
Well,
I mean, that's what's
come on, man. I'm trying to look on the bright side here. You're bringing me down, man. Come on.
Well, see, I'm the balance. I am the yin to your yang.
I'm supposed to be the realist here.
I am the peanut butter to your jelly. I'm balancing the field here.
The minute you say it's peanut butter jelly time, then we're done. We're done. I'm sorry. I gotta bring some comedy into this because otherwise everyone's gonna fall asleep or they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I want to kill myself."
Oh yeah, it's gonna make you want to scream.
We gotta have some humor here, right?
Oh, it's definitely. Well, because let's see. All you guys should be seeing this screen now. So, I'm getting back into the paper cut series, Night Strike. So I shot one episode the other day, got that posted, shot another one today. And I'm going to start it out the same way I did last time, which is basically starting out with the first bills that were proposed and then working my way through, trying to see whether I can keep up with them, which if it's anything like the 117th Congress, I have no chance in hell of keeping up with these crazy bastards.
Yeah, and I happen to believe what Ossie's saying out there. He says her replacement will be a freshman member with no clout. And you know what? No one, a replacement with no clout means that, people will ignore her. And maybe that's what we need.
It's a definite, it's going to be kind of that junior senator, but you got to look at, again, you look at some of these juniors that are coming in like AOC and freaking Ilhan Omar and all their little crew. They may not have a whole lot of clout when it comes to, they're not, senior whatevers, but they make a shit ton of noise. And it's what we're going to be dealing with. And here, let's look at, I mentioned this bill as soon as it came out. Where's it at? While we're talking about damn rhino ass Republicans.
I mean, that's the one thing South Carolina has a problem with in the Senate. It's like every time an open carry bill comes, they're all wishy-washy, and it annoys me to no end. Listen, guys, you got open carry with permit, okay? You're halfway. You got halfway there. You even added some text in there to remove the state requirement to pay for a permit. They just issue you a permit now. Okay, that was good. And then you got your Second Amendment sanctuary state. You got that in the bill. Great. But come on, make the push for constitutional carry. Listen, the only people that'll have guns are either the people that have bought them legally and gone through a 4473 or the criminals. And if you find out they're a criminal, hell, you can take their guns away and throw their ass in jail or prison. Yeah. Your pick. I don't see how that's so hard.
Well, it's like Florida. We did watch that hearing the other day in Florida, and I can understand both sides of this argument. There are a lot of people saying that this so-called constitutional carry bill doesn't go far enough because it doesn't have open carry. So there's a lot of people saying, hey, we're not going to support this because you're not being honest. This isn't a complete constitutional carry bill.
Right.
And then I can see the other end of it, like, hey, we need to take whatever we can get and then still keep coming back and fighting for even more rights.
And I hate to say this, and I hate to sound like I'm just settling, but the issue is that they've eroded our rights, whittling away at a time. And unfortunately, since they were able to do it that way, then that means that's the route we need to take to get the rights back.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see that argument because as impatient as I am when it comes to this stupid bullshit,
I'm impatient too.
I can see that we need to take what we can get. If they're willing to vote on it, let's vote on it, and then next year or even this year, let's hit them with another bill to do open carry in a separate bill.
Because remember, it took them years to whittle it away, so that means it's going to take us a good chunk of time whittling it back.
Yeah, it's
I understand that. It's just, yes, do I want stuff fast and want it now? Yeah, but that's only because I'm an impatient bastard.
Well, it's impatient, but it's kind of that righteous anger where
where I'm yelling shall not be infringed.
Yeah, I mean, we know that all of this is complete horseshit, and it always has been horseshit. So, we want it now, and we want it done. But in the same respect, I can see the argument to, hey, let's take what we can get. Where is this freaking bill that I'm looking for?
Which one are you looking for?
It was a Republican that wanted a universal background check.
defense competition.
And that's another thing that gets me. They want universal background checks. But, the problem is most of these people that are most of these politicians that try and put that into play have never actually gone to buy a gun in the first place. They don't understand that how hard it is to fill out and try and pass a background check with a 4473 already. So why the fuck do you want to make it even harder?
Well, and see, the thing is most of these background checks that are denied or delayed, like mine sitting pending right now, they're false positives. They're either it's two names that match or some shit like that, but it's not someone who's got a felony that you're keeping a bad person from buying a gun.
I don't have that problem. I've got a concealed carry permit here in South Carolina, so I can carry concealed or open, one, and two, when I go to buy a gun or do anything, I have to fill out the 4473, but they're not required to send it in.
Well, see, in Alabama, they fucked us on that. There were a bunch of sheriffs that were giving out permits, but weren't running background checks. So in Alabama, even though I've got my carry permit, I can't use that in place of a background check.
Yeah, well, in South Carolina, the issuers of the concealed carry permits are the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, otherwise known as SLED.
This is it.
So, 715.
This is
where's this guy from? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Patrick.
Look where he's from.
Pennsylvania.
Look where he's from.
Yep. But look at this. These are all the people that have signed on this bill so far. Now let's see. We can look at it. Let's look at co-sponsors real quick. I wonder if there are any Republicans that have co-sponsored it. No,
Democrat.
It's all Democrat. When you see it right here and you don't see a Republican box next to it, that means he sponsored this bill, but everybody who signed on to it is all Democrat.
Can you scroll down? I want to see the rest of the states. Keep going.
Hold on.
Alabama.
Of course it would be fucking swell fucking douchebag.
Sewell. Or Sewell or
Sewell, yeah, I'd never pronounce that motherfucker's name right. I don't got enough respect for him.
Nobody's going to.
Him, I think it's a him.
All right, go back to co-sponsor.
Let's see. Hold on. I'll go back in just a sec. Let me look.
I want to make sure there's nobody from South Carolina.
House Judiciary. So this is just the House Judiciary Committee. Let's go back to co-sponsors. Let's see. South Carolina.
Oh my God, there was one from South Carolina. Who is it? Yep,
James
that asshole.
Clyburn. Yep, that explains it.
That asshole.
Fucking douchebag.
Yeah, let me tell you about that douchebag. That douchebag claims to represent my entire area, but guess what? He don't represent shit.
No.
He only represents his own interests. He says he's for the people, but when it comes to actually doing anything constitutionally for the people, he always seems to fuck over the people he says he represents.
Well, yeah, that's a politician's game, baby.
No, it's more so a Democrat politician's game.
Let's look at this. Okay, purpose of this act: utilize current background checks process in the United States to ensure individuals prohibited from gun purchase not possessing firearms. So let's see. They edit 922. So 922 is basically the prohibition itself. So this is the you can't do this. I think 923 is the punishment for it. Ugh. So we'll look at, let's see, shall be unlawful for any person who is not a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer, transfer any firearm to any other person who is not so licensed unless a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer is first taken possession. So, I mean, it's basically telling you got to go through an FFL to transfer any firearm. Now,
when we're talking about transfers here, a transfer is not just the sale of a firearm. A transfer is merely me giving possession of a firearm to someone else.
Or you taking possession.
Mm-hmm.
Giving or taking possession.
So, like a buddy of mine, he called me this week. He's a disabled vet. He's headed on a pheasant shoot. Called me up, said, "Hey, brother, I need to borrow the 1100." Tell him, "All right, man, just go pick it up. All good." I would be breaking the law. I would be committing a felony if something like this was in place. If I tell him, "Hey, just go ahead and take the gun, go ahead and go hunting." Let's see, 922. So far, standard freaking universal background check bill. And of course, it doesn't apply to law enforcement officers.
What did you expect?
Or government agents. They always give themselves the carve out in this.
What did you expect?
A transfer exchange for the purpose of subsection means any kind transfer of a firearm of the same type or value. So I guess you could trade firearms underneath this and it wouldn't apply because this is the shall not apply part. That is a loan or bona fide gift in between spouses, domestic partners, parents and children, including step parents, stepchildren, between siblings, aunts or uncles and nieces and nephews, grandparents, grandchildren. Let's see. Transfer an executor of a will. So, in other words, when you die, you can't just, like, when my uncle just passed. So all of his guns are just being doled out by what his will said. Under a bill like this, all of those would have to go to the executor of the will and then be dealt with from there. Temporary transfer to prevent imminent death or bodily harm. Now, this is one, they throw this in this bill, and what it is basically about suicide, right? But to me, if, say, a friend of mine was under threat from somebody threatening their life, and I handed them a gun to loan it to them to protect themselves, to me, that would be to prevent imminent death or bodily harm. But you can bet your ass they're not going to see it that way when they enforce this shit. So then they go in and they freaking go to the Internal Revenue Code 86. So, hey, you can actually let someone borrow your gun at a shooting range. Shooting range, shooting gallery, or other area.
As long as it's not, as long as it doesn't have a suppressor on it or it's an SBR.
Yeah. When you get into NFA items, that's completely different.
Which, if you're standing right there, I don't see why you can't just let somebody shoot it at the same damn table you're at the range. Yeah. And then when they're done shooting it, you take it and put it back in your damn gun case. I don't see the problem with that.
Well, see, the ATF had to clarify that not too long back, and they actually said, that's okay.
They had to walk back on that. Yes.
Yeah, they walked that back. But if I have an NFA item and I don't have a trust, say I got a suppressor for me. If I leave and go to work and it's accessible to my wife while I'm at work, well, guess what? I'm breaking the law. I'm committing a felony at that point. Mm-hmm. Let's see. There was another section in some of these. Awful. The Attorney General shall make available to any person licensed under this chapter both Spanish and English versions of the form required to conduct a background check. Gee, that's mighty nice of you guys. So then they edit 924. Amendment authorized, registry. See, I don't see, and I might have skipped over. I have to freaking really sit down and look at it, but I don't see what the punishment is for this. It lists the crime, it lists the definitions and stuff, but I don't see where, like in a typical bill and something like this, they'll list the crime, the definitions, and then they'll list the actual penalty for it, which is typically so many years in jail, such and such fine, confiscation of property. I don't see that in this one. So that's interesting. Yeah, that one's kind of interesting because most of those will list the actual crimes and everything, and then they'll list the penalties, but I don't see the penalties listed in that bill. Other than that, man, Republicans are throwing out some really good bills here, but they know they got zero chance to pass. So to me, it's all just posturing at this point.
Yeah. But the reason why some Republicans are doing good gun bills and some are doing bad. The bad ones, the bad gun bills, they're doing it because they're not really a Republican anyways. They're a Democrat, but they ran as a Republican so they could get the ticket. And that's what a lot of Democrats do.
Well, you see, I mean, that guy's from freaking Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And you see where Pennsylvania's at with a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Even when Republicans are in control, they're just shitting on everybody's rights.
But when it comes down to it, some Republicans are doing good gun bills, and it may look like they're grandstanding, and they probably are. But the issue is they're doing it to show that they are trying to live up to their promises on the campaign trail.
Well, yeah,
and honestly, between the Democrats and the Republicans do more so what they say they're going to do than the Democrats do.
I don't know. I'll argue with you there because these Democrats talk about they want to ban firearms, and
this is my opinion.
Going after it.
This is my opinion. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that. Are all politicians scum? Oh yes, hell yes. Not going to argue there.
The vast majority. Let's see. So we going back and looking at this. So when you're looking at Congress.gov, if you want to look at bills, you can sort them all sorts of different ways. Sort them by party, by Congress, House or Senate, all kinds of stuff. Status of legislation. So going through with paper cuts, like I said, I'm going to start out with the oldest bills and try to work my way through. This Kimberly Vaughn Safe Storage Act has a lot of stuff in there as far as grants and all kinds of stuff. It's going to funnel a lot of money to groups like Giffords and Moms Demand Action and shit like that.
Which that should be against the law. You should not fund groups that's goals are to strip Americans of constitutional rights. You should only give funds to groups that empower constitutional rights.
Well, yeah, you would think that's the way it works, but we all know Democrats and most of these politicians have zero respect for the Constitution.
Sadly.
All right, they would literally walk over the Constitution like a doormat to go sign a bill to strip you of every single right you've got.
Yep. All right, man. I'm gonna head out. You take it easy. Thanks for letting me jump in and hang out for a little bit.
Hey, a nice strike here, dude. You're always welcome to jump in, man. Anytime.
Well, the problem is you don't always have the link out there for me to jump in,
Well, sometimes I forget. Sometimes you might just have to throw it in chat. Let me in, fat ass.
No. Usually I'm going to say the words, put me in the game, coach.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're more than welcome to be put in the game any damn time, brother. That's for sure. Well, we'll catch you after a while. Go finish building your house that way you can get back to putting out some content.
I'm remodeling the place because I've been dropping concrete all week because we're redoing the house. So I'm actually making a front porch.
Hell yeah.
So I'm in the process of that. Also making a walkway to the driveway with concrete. I literally had to go buy a mixer for that, and then I'm doing a shit ton of shit inside. So I'm way busy, but today I'm taking the day off. So I'm gonna go get some lunch and hang out with the family, and then take the rest of the day off. So you guys take it easy, and remember, shall not be infringed.
Heard that. Peace out, brother.
Later.
Yeah, dude. These groups, man, Giffords and a lot of others, of course, they're living off a lot of Bloomberg money for sure. It's insane how much money these people talk about, dark money in politics, and they always want to point to somebody supporting conservative ideals. They never want to talk about all the money that comes in from Soros and Bloomberg and a lot of others that are supporting all of these anti-constitutional bills and pushes for the government to expand its powers. They never want to talk about that shit. HPS, dude, you're more than welcome to jump in, man. If anybody listens to my fat ass, they'll listen to anybody. Let's look at something. So HR 60, Sheila Jackson Lee was on it. As soon as she could start proposing anti-gun bills, she was working it. Which are all retreads of bills she put in last Congress and the Congress before that. So it makes it easy. All she's got to do is change some dates and push some shit through. So you see, introduced January 9th, Kimberly Vaughn introduced January 9th. The Accidental Firearms Transfer Reporting Act. So this is for, say, FFL background checks where the FFL actually, waits there 3 days or whatever, transfers the firearm, and then the ATF finally gets back to them and says, hey, this was a prohibited person you just transferred this gun to. And then the FFL has to try to, either get that gun back or whatever. And then, of course, she wants all this reported. Let's see, Congress. So to require the Bureau of Alcohol, she's got the FBI here, but I think ATF is doing background checks now. To require the Federal Bureau of Investigation to report to Congress semi-annually the number of firearms transfers resulting from the failure to complete a background check within 3 business days, and the procedures followed after it's discovered that a firearms transfer has been made to a transferee who is ineligible to receive a firearm. So she wants all of this reported to Congress, which, I mean, they might as well just say, hey, the next background check system is a bunch of bullshit and shouldn't even be used, but here we are. So let's see, that was 4 bills she proposed on January 9th. The 5th bill, David's Law. Let's see. We'll breeze through this one real fast. I'm going to breeze through a couple. I got till about 3 o'clock and then I got to bounce. To enhance federal enforcement of hate crimes. Jesus Christ, man. Let's look at it. We'll breeze through her findings real fast. Congress finds the incidents of violence motivated by the actual or perceived race, color, national origin, religion, sexual orientation, gender, or disability of a victim poses a serious national problem. Such violence disrupts the tranquility and safety of communities and is deeply diverse. Existing federal law is inadequate to address these problems. Horse shit. Such violence affects interstate commerce in many ways. So they're going to stick this underneath the interstate commerce clause to try to push this bullshit. That's awfully nice of them. By impeding members, targeted groups, forcing such members to move across state lines to escape incidents or risk of such violence, and by preventing members of targeted groups from purchasing goods and services, obtaining or sustaining employment, or participating in other commercial activity. Perpetrators cross state lines to commit such violence. Oh, man, oh man, oh man. Instruments of interstate commerce are used to facilitate the commission of such violence. Such violence is committed using articles that have traveled in interstate commerce. Are you guys noticing a theme with interstate commerce here? Violence motivated by bias is a relic of slavery and can constitute badges and incidents of slavery. This lady is fucking insane. Although many local jurisdictions have attempted to respond to the challenges posed by such violence, the problem is sufficiently serious, widespread, and interstate in scope to warrant federal intervention to assist such jurisdictions, and many states have no laws addressing violence based on actual or perceived race, color, origins, yada yada, gender, disability, while other states have laws that provide only limited protection. This lady is insane. But this goes back to them, which I did shows last year on it. This goes back to them pushing this idea of, the violent radical extremists and saying that racism and white supremacy and domestic terrorism is the biggest threat. Here we go. We got Dina Titus, of course, of Nevada, closing the Bump Stock Loophole Act of 2023. Again, another insane bill. We'll breeze through real quick. So she introduced this on January 17th of this year. Now, this was referred to the House Ways and Means Committee, in addition to the Committee on the Judiciary. So they're going to try to go after this under the taxing powers, too, is what that means. Being enacted, closing the bump stock loophole. Yep, here it is. And General Section 5845 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986. So they're going to go after bump stocks just like machine guns. So they're going to throw bump stocks in with damn machine guns and destructive devices. The term bump stock means any of the following: any manual, power-driven electronic device designed such that when the device is attached to a semi-automatic weapon, the device eliminates the need for the operator of a semi-automatic weapon to make a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger, and material increases the rate of fire of the semi-automatic weapon or approximates the action or rate of fire of a machine gun. These people are idiots. They don't realize that machine guns don't have an exact rate that they fire. Machine guns fire in very different rates. Some fire very slow, some fire very fast. In some cases, a regular semi-automatic gun will fire faster than some machine guns with a standard mil-spec trigger, just by pulling fast. So the way this bill is written, even though it says bump stocks, This could include binary triggers. This could include what you call enhanced triggers, like that Wilson Combat trigger I put in that AR-9. It's just a smoother trigger. Resets really short, very crisp break. That gun can fire extremely fast. Any part or combination of parts designed and functions to eliminate the need for the operator of a semi-automatic weapon to make a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger, and material increases the rate of fire of a semi-automatic weapon, approves the action or rate of fire of a machine gun, or approximates. Any semi-automatic weapon that has been modified in any way that eliminates the need for the operator of the semi-automatic weapon to make a separate movement for each individual function of the trigger, material increases or approximates. Semi-automatic weapon means a repeating weapon that utilizes a portion of the energy of the fired cartridge shell to extract. So, I mean, basically, standard definition for semi-auto. Requires a separate function of the trigger for each cartridge or shell. So they get into 921. By striking muffler or firearm silencer, inserting muffler, firearm silencer, or bump stock, and by adding at the end the following, term bump stock meaning, such as their amended definition for the National Firearms Act. Bump stock, period. So I'm going to have to go through when I write this up. I'm going to have to go through the actual law and edit all that in. Application to possession on date of enactment. Notwithstanding, any person on the date of enactment of this act possessing a bump stock as defined, Internal Revenue Code, as amended, shall not later than the date that is 1 year after the date of enactment register such bump stock in accordance with the National Firearms Act and the Internal Revenue Code, and include such registration information required under it of such code. Such registration shall become part of the National Firearms Act registration transfer records. Prohibition on possession of an unregistered firearm under such code shall not apply to a bump stock described in this act any date that is 1 year or less after enactment of this. People are insane. Let's see. Bowling ball finger trainer. Yep. Belt loops, rubber bands, shoelaces. Yeah, the Atkins accelerator. Yeah, that wasn't even since that had that spring or mechanical component to it, that wasn't covered under this last ruling on bump stocks. Those were still illegal, which is still fucking ridiculous. Did you hear about the serial killer in Florida? You're talking Magnum, you talking about that dude who went in there and shot, 9 people the other day, killed 3, a 9-year-old girl, a woman, and a reporter. That whole situation is screwy. Because apparently he shot one group of people, left the area, and then came back, got into the lady's house, and then ended up shooting her and her kid, and then on the way out shot the reporter or something like that. It's freaking... The whole situation is just screwy as hell. But yeah, I saw that one. Let's see. Let's get back down here. Accidental firearms transfer. David's Law. Closing the loophole. And see, man, they're still putting through shit. Latest action. Refer to Committee on the Judiciary. Ethics. So they're still putting through shit. Introduced on 117 for January 6th. People are insane, man. Age 21 Act, you can guess what this is. And this is our friend Dianne Feinstein. She may be going away, but she's still swinging for the fences. To amend Title 18 United States Code to prohibit the purchase of certain firearms by individuals under 21 years of age and for other purposes. So they always throw into these bills. 921, inserting paragraphs. So I'm going to have to go in and fucking edit the laws and write this in. So they're going after semi-automatic pistol, means any repeating pistol utilizes a portion of the energy, requires a separate pull for each cartridge, semi-automatic shotgun, semi-automatic assault weapon. So your average semi-auto hunting shotgun, she doesn't want anyone under the age of 21 to be able to have or purchase. Apparently my Remington 1100 is a assault shotgun to her. Semi-automatic weapon, regardless country manufacturer, pistol grip, forward grip, folding telescoping stock, grenade launcher, barrel shroud, threaded barrel. Fucking people are insane. So old Dianne Feinstein wants to raise the age to 21 to pretty much buy any modern rifle or handgun. And here's her assault weapons ban that she puts through every single fucking year. So Dianne Feinstein introduced her assault weapons ban on 123 because God knows she had to go ahead and get hers in there. This one's got 41 co-sponsors. It's got one related bill. What's the related bill? Keep America Safe Act. S29. We'll have to look at that one. It's just listed as related bill. So here's her assault weapons ban. Assault weapons ban of 2023, which followed the assault weapons ban of 2022, which was the same one as 2021. Semi-automatic pistol utilizes a portion, requires separate pull the trigger. So she's going after semi-automatic handguns also in her assault weapons ban. Semi-automatic shotgun utilizes portion, requires a separate pull. So yeah, she's basically going after every damn thing in her assault weapons ban, which we knew that was coming. Oh, here's another interesting one. Jamie Raskin, this prick of a human being, on 126. So let's see. To authorize a grant program for handgun licensing programs and for other purposes. All right, let's read through his findings real quick. So in 2020, 59% of firearms homicides in the United States in which a firearm type was specified were committed with a handgun or by a handgun. Research by top national experts, horse shit, show that adopting a handgun purchaser licensing laws are associated with significant reductions in firearms-related homicides. That's bullshit. And repeal of handgun purchaser licensing laws are associated with significant increases in firearm-related homicides. Again, horseshit. Research on the effects of adoption of handgun purchasing licensing laws in Connecticut in 1995 showed a 27.8% reduction in the rate of firearms homicide and a 32.8% reduction in firearms suicide rates. Again, all horse shit. Published research has shown that a repeal of handgun purchaser licensing in Missouri in 2007 was associated with a 47.3% increase in the rate of firearms homicide and a 23.5% increase in firearm suicide rates. Again, a bunch of horse shit. States that have effective handgun purchaser licensing laws for decades, such as Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, the vast majority of firearms traced to crimes originated in states that do not have handgun purchaser licensing laws, which supports the need for handgun purchaser licensing laws in every state. Research has shown that states with handgun purchaser licensing laws accept or export far fewer firearms for criminal use. It's a bunch of horse shit. The only reason you see more firearms from some states is because other states, Illinois, don't have as many gun sellers in the state. This whole thing's, again, fucking ridiculous. So they want to give grants to any state, and they want these states to do handgun purchasers licenses. All right, so Jamie Raskin, we all knew was a fucking mental midget. He's proven that even more. Let's see. I'm just kind of getting an idea of the next bills I'm going to be going through. So I get to torture you guys with a little bit of, here's the ammunition sales. They want to stop any kind of online ammunition sales. And they want to track or report any bulk purchases. How do I know that? Because it's the same fucking bill they put in last year that I did a show on. Sure, conforming agreement, inserting ammunition after firearm, requirement for face-to-face sales and licensing to sell ammunition. So it's unlawful for any person who is not a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer to sell ammunition, except that this subclause shall not apply to the sale of ammunition by a person to a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer. So you could manufacture ammunition and sell it to an FFL, but you couldn't sell it on your own. Let's see. Physical presence. So a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer to sell ammunition to a person unless the licensee in the physical presence of the person has verified the identity of the person by examining a valid identification document as defined in yada yada. The person containing a photograph of the person. Here they're going after so-called armor-piercing ammunition, which there is a trick to that where their so-called armor-piercing ammunition just has to be ammunition that is in a pistol format that will go through soft body armor. So they would effectively make anything like 223, 5.56, basically anything that is in a pistol format would be armor-piercing ammunition and would be illegal. Van Hollen, let's see, again on the 26th. These were some busy damn bees here. Which one's this one? The AIM Act. What is the AIM Act? So, to remove obstacles to the ability of law enforcement officers to enforce gun safety laws and for other purposes. So, what this is, kids, is a national registry. All of this where they're talking about Title II, Division B, consolidated further, Continuing Appropriations Act is amended by striking the sixth provision. What that is that is a provision that says that the federal government can't use any funds to have a registry. So they want to go in and they want to knock out all of those provisions stopping the government from having a national registry, and they want the government to have that national registry. That's what all of this is about. That's what all this knocking this is out. Seventh provision, sixth provision. That's what all that is. So they want to knock out any of the prohibitions on a national registry, elimination of prohibition of processing, Freedom of Information Act request about arson or explosive incidents, or firearms traces. So again, this is getting into the registry. Let's see. Fiscal year. Yep. Elimination of prohibition on searching computerized records of federally licensed firearms dealers who are out of business. So we all know that the ATF has a searchable database now that is illegal. They want to make that very much legal and put it out in the open. Elimination of the prohibition on denying or failing to act on applications to import certain shotgun models on the basis that the shotgun was not particularly suitable for or readily adaptable to sporting purposes. Any of your AK style shotguns, anything like that, yep, they want to be able to deny the import of those. Elimination of limits on frequency of record keeping inspections and inventory of fire. So they want to be able to inspect the records and actually copy and scan the records of FFLs. Revising standard for federal firearm license revocation. So they want to make it even easier to revoke FFLs. To amend by striking willfully in each place the term appears and inserting knowingly, and they get to define knowingly. Elimination of de novo, which would be like the new review. An opportunity to rely on evidence not previously considered. Revisiting standards for eligibility of federal firearms licensees. So they want to make it harder to get a federal FFL. Yep, these fucking douchebags. So that's the AIM Act. Now, there's a lot of these bills, Ozzy, that aren't going to get out of committee right now. But what they do is they keep rolling these bills over and rolling these bills over and rolling these bills over, and they just become kind of a temperature check. So they're just looking to see how much support they're gaining. And when you look at the support for these bills, if you go back and look at historical support for them, in some cases there weren't a lot of support for them, but now that support's building. And they just keep getting more and more extreme. All right, let's see. Let's do one more, and then I have to bounce to go pick my daughter up. So January 6th, we went through that. We went through the handgun purchase, stop online sales of ammunition, handgun purchaser permit. Yeah, fuck you. Keeping Americans Safe Act. So this was done on introduced on January 30th. We'll breeze through this one real quick, and then I got to bounce. So already got a shit ton of sponsors to regulate large capacity ammunition feeding devices. And again, this is a rollover from last year. They put this one in last year, and now they're just rolling it back over this year. So any kind of device, let's see what their round count is on this one. Any other manner, overall capacity, readily restored, change converted to accept more than 15 rounds of ammunition. Hey, they're giving us 15 rounds this time. Yay! Freaking idiots. It might have been 15 rounds last year, and I think it was 10 rounds the year before that. So they're moving it around. Let's look at the actions on it real quick. So it was introduced, and then it was referred to the House Judiciary, which it's got 102 co-sponsors, 2 titles. What are the 2 titles? Same old same, man. It's another mag ban. Oh, and they're going to keep working this stuff. So they keep introducing it. They'll keep getting slapped down. They'll keep introducing it. What we have to look at, and I'll talk about this briefly before I get out of here. And if I get time, I'll do another show, or I might do just a video on it. The Biden administration is putting more judges on the district and circuit courts, the federal courts, than any other president. They're stacking the benches deep with seriously leftist judges. Judges like this last one who basically pulled God knows how many different rabbits out of her ass to try to say that mag bans and assault weapons bans were completely constitutional. They're putting more judges like that on the courts. Now, what happens with that is they just tie these things up for years and years and years. And their hope is to tie these things up long enough to where Joe Biden can actually, or a Democrat, not necessarily just Joe Biden, but a Democrat can actually stick more leftist judges on the Supreme Court. If they do that, then our rights could seriously take a swing back in the opposite direction. And that's what they're looking for. That's what they're trying to hold out for. That's the long game. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to get out of here, Perks. I got to go pick my daughter up, and then I got to head into town and go actually be useful and productive for the rest of the day. So as always, you Perks be cool. Keep that thing on you at all times. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Much love, guys. You guys take them easy.